session looks way better than it did earlier.
Okay. I'm actually really hungry. Hello? Are we using this one?
I'm trying to see what's the best way to do it. This is actually probably best, huh?
Yeah.
Right?
But that has that in the front.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
But I want to make the main camera first and then the live. You think this look is better for you, man?
Do you want it where the comments are that way, or are you turning it around?
I wasn't going to look at the comments on here. I was going to look on your computer if you had them.
Okay.
I wouldn't know a way to. Oh, I didn't even recognize that shirt was from you. I thought that was Muhammad.
Huh?
You want were you trying to tell me the yellow like that?
What'd you say?
The yellow shirt you sent? Is this in the middle?
Yeah. You can see that stuff over in the corner, though.
Oh, you can?
Uh-huh.
Is it out now?
Yeah. I need to, do some more pages. My sideburns. Someone said, is this another therapy session? It's not. Yes, this is my merch. I'm debating on changing it before I make the bulk order. That's what problems I'm always changing stuff.
Who made the logo?
I'm not gonna say her name out loud because.
Okay. All right. You okay with that frame?
Yeah.
Okay. That pop-out chat is great.
Yeah, that's the best.
We'll do a little bit lower. What's Headspace?
Okay.
You all right with that?
Mm-hmm.
Jerry just keeps getting bunched up. All right. Soon as I start worrying how the story ends, and I let go and I let God have His way.
Okay, you ready?
Yes. That's when things start happening. Oh my gosh, the wind done blew the trash onto my car.
Well, I thought the guy put it there.
No.
All those boxes out here need to.
It's on my list to do today.
Okay, good.
I'm ready, baby girl.
Alright. Hello, wait, where's the camera? On this side. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Love Hour Podcast. I'm your host, Miss Kev on Stage, and I'm joined by my husband and co-host.
The Kev on Stage.
And this is not the last episode of the year. It was originally my plan to make this the last episode of the year, but it will not be. Next week we have, can I say it? I should, they confirmed. Okay, so next week we will have Adrian and Israel Houghton.
And I'll be ready for you, Israel.
The podcast. I should email him and tell him to bring.
Do not. I do not need to be embarrassed by Israel. I'm going dark for a month until I get a song so clean. I already got my video idea.
For what?
For Jonathan McReynolds, me versus him, round 2. But I need.
Are you guys gonna do a versus?
No, I'm just attacking him on social media.
Oh, you guys should do a versus.
But I need more. I need some time to prepare my thing.
Oh yeah, because Jonathan McReynolds is really good.
He's been lighting me up.
Oh well, first of all, his production value is more than you're willing to pay.
Hey, I was like, what are you doing? I don't even know how to do this.
He had First 48 music.
He had a great thing. Yeah, I was like, oh,
He's
that's
so
too
good.
brute.
Yeah, no, you came first.
Well, yeah, but I was the ridiculous stuff. But when he did, I was like, oh, and you can be petty as well and ridiculous. I thought it would just be Kevin.
So before we get into today's episode, I actually wanted to talk about. You didn't listen to it, but I'm debating on if I want to reach out to these people now.
Are you?
I think so. So I want to tell you guys about this podcast. Someone emailed me. You guys can let me know if you guys have listened to it. My bangs are so short. Anyway, I was like, I need a haircut, and then he cut my bangs, and I was like, why would you cut it that short?
That's you in a nutshell. I need a haircut. Cut your hair. Why would you do that?
Like,
I asked for this, and now you're gonna give me what I asked for?
You're fucking bangs. Why would you cut it this short?
Are you
crazy?
crazy?
I did it myself. Anyways, what?
Was it recording?
It's on.
We got on YouTube,
Yeah,
so we're just sending both to Josh.
Okay. Oh shoot! I didn't hit record on this either.
Girl, we done been talking for 15 minutes, and we only been live on the phone.
Dang, that's the thing I wanted to do. Well, on the phone, the what you call it will be fine on here.
Yeah. Can you pull up the YouTube link just so I can see, make sure we got. Okay, good. We have something to look forward to. Woo! I was about to be mad.
Okay, hold on. Let me make sure my Zencaster is working.
Woo, Jesus!
Okay, it's working. All right, we're gonna start this over. We're not gonna start this over. You're just gonna put that in there.
You're just gonna put it in there, and how long have you been live? How long have you been talking? 5 minutes?
Started streaming 10 minutes ago.
Okay, but I was probably setting up for a little bit,
Yeah.
so probably 5 minutes.
First of all, this brow is kind of popping today, but it looks like I'm just like this the whole time. Anyways, okay, so I started listening to this This is actually what happened. Someone emailed me. Hold on, let me back all the way up. We are going to do the Bald and the Beautiful.
This is not recorded.
It is. Do I need to turn up the sound?
No, it still says start recording. I don't see any wavelengths or nothing.
Oh, I saw. Oh, it was because the health was in progress.
Okay. Okay, now everything is together.
Okay, there we go. Okay, so I'm backing all the way up once again.
Okay.
No. It's already out. It's already out.
It went back in when you checked it.
It did?
Yeah.
It did.
You're right.
So this is what happened. No. Yeah, now I'm all confused. Okay. We, the Bald and the Beautiful, we are coming back. We are is. Because I was going to say
we need a woosah. Ever since we didn't realize we weren't recording, we've been all over the place.
The Bald and the Beautiful is coming back with a review show. The original show we were going to do, because I'm still receiving emails about this, and I don't know what platform to put it on. I thought Instagram was enough, but I'm not quite sure where, so I'm going to say it here. We are coming back in December. Actually, I think this week. I need to check, but I think the show comes back this week, or maybe it's next week. Anyways, we're going to review 90 Day Fiancé. We started to review For Your Love, Ready for Love,
I think it was Ready for Love.
Pose for Love, whatever the name of the show is. And we stopped because it wasn't a show that resonated with us. Okay. So, and we didn't want to bash a show or basically
It just wasn't for us.
Yeah, it just wasn't for us.
We didn't connect to reviewing the show.
Thank you. And so we decided not to do that. And so what we're going to do instead is review 90 Day Fiancé, but Married at First Sight is coming back in like January. So we'll jump back on that train. So because of that, I've been receiving a lot of emails from people asking us to review different shows. And I received an email just yesterday asking us to review this podcast called Cheat Code. And it is about this man and this woman. Her name is Andrea or something like that. And his name is Jason. And they were both married and then cheated on their spouses with each other. And now they're together, like probably 6 or 7 years later. Like I think they actually probably 7 or 8 years ago. Because I think this started in 2012. So,
okay, let me back up.
So is that 8 years ago?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. They are both married to several people.
Yes.
They have an affair.
Yes.
One night stand or whatever.
No, it started their actual relationship.
Okay, fair. They meet at work, whatever the case is.
Yeah.
They break up with husband and wife, and then they make a couple.
Yes.
And then they start a podcast.
Yes.
Wow.
So they are. So this is what happened. I was like, someone sent it, and this is what my initial thought was. So I wasn't really with it in the beginning. So when I first saw the girl's email, I was like, oh, this is really like interesting and intriguing. We absolutely can review it. So I text the group like, hey, someone just sent this to me. Maybe we can listen to it. I'm gonna start listening to it today to see if if I think we should do it. So I started listening, and my initial thought was it was a couple that was together. They both cheated on each other, and then they stayed together, and they were going to talk about what they learned.
Yes.
And like their experience and what got them in the position in the first place, and kind of do like when a person dies, an autopsy. An autopsy on their relationship and the stages of it. Like, this is when things kind of started falling apart. What happened?
I think I messed something up.
We're about to just use YouTube.
No. Okay, we're good. I just freaked out. Okay.
So that's what I thought it was about at first. Okay, so I'm going in with that thought. As I'm listening, I'm realizing that it's actually about the cheaters and like their togetherness. Yeah. And I was like, I am not gonna listen to this. Like, this is crazy. Because on the outside looking in, I thought they were like kind of glorifying their cheating escapades. I don't know. So I was kind of turned off about it like immediately. I was like, this is not what's popping. Like, who was said this to me? Like, this is not it. But of course, I was like, but now I have to finish listening because they only had 10 episodes. So as I kept listening, it's absolutely not about that at all. They do tell their love story, so to speak. I feel like that's disrespectful to do that.
I mean, it's still their love story.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a one born out of infidelity.
Sure.
But it's still their story.
It's still their story. So yeah, I'm gonna take back my bunny ears. I kind of feel like that's judgy and disrespectful. So regardless, they're telling their love story, how they met, how it happened. They're even giving like cautionary tales for people. Like she's talking to like side chicks, talking about like where she went wrong.
What you
And
talking?
when I tell you by the end of, I'm on episode, they did like a bonus episode where they kind of do like a Q&A for questions that they've received since posting. 'Cause this happened like early in this year. Like I missed it. I don't know. I don't even know if it was a
cheat
thing.
code.
It's called the Cheat Code Podcast or Cheat Code or something like that. It looks like the what's that movie that Will Smith declined to do, the Wild Wild West?
Matrix.
Yeah. Okay. It has like that black and green matrix.
Oh, like computery.
Yeah, that's what the podcast logo thing looks like. So anyway, I listened to the whole thing, and now I'm like, should I invite them on the podcast?
You absolutely should. This is a black couple, I believe, right?
They're absolutely black. They're from New York. There were children involved.
Involved?
Yes, like his wife, I think she was pregnant.
By her real husband?
Yes, I'm pretty sure.
And not
Jason is his name, or Jay. I think it's Jason. I think his wife was pregnant at the time that he was hooking up with the Andrea. And Andrea, I think, had just had, or maybe I shouldn't say just, because there's about a 6-year age gap between their kids. So her kid was probably 5 or 6 or something like that when they got together. I don't know, my math might be wrong. She was probably like 4. So anyway, it is the most interesting thing. I found it really intriguing. She is a divorce coach now.
A divorce coach?
Yes,
What that
but
is?
I don't know.
She puts people through divorces?
I think so. I'm pretty sure. And then she sells like pharmaceutical advertisements during the day. And then he's like a whole entire lawyer. So it's really interesting to hear because they're like unapologetically black. You can tell they're really educated, clearly, even in their job. You're not doing pharmaceutical work or being a lawyer, and really educated people. They're so black that in some ways they come off, I don't want to say ratchet, but just like hood, like black. But at the same time, they'll say words like, I think they're asking you to opine on this. And you're just like, just say it. They're asking for her opinion.
Balance.
Like, why did you say that? So anyway, I really kind of, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I enjoyed the podcast. I don't know if I should have enjoyed the podcast. I'm kind of having like an internal.
Are you afraid to enjoy it because of the origin story?
Yeah,
you feel like that makes you condone it?
Yes. And I'm not even quite sure that they're condoning the start of their relationship. I almost think they say that. I'm not saying that they're condoning cheating.
People have done that before.
People have done what before?
Cheated on their spouse and then got married to the person they cheated with.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I don't think they're married. I think they're just still together, but I do not believe they're married. And so by the end of like the 10th, and I'm in the 11th episode, they did like a, like I said, the 10 episodes, the first 10 are just like their story. The 11th episode is a Q&A, that's what I'm on now. And then they did like an entanglement episode, which I'm assuming came out around the Will Smith thing, and Jada, and then I don't know if there's another episode after that. Anyways, the point is, I don't know, because of the way that I grew up, there was a lot of like judgment, you know what I mean, that immediately wanted to, and then we can get into the episode because this is like kind of one of my things. There was a lot of judgment that immediately gets triggered inside of me because of my moral compass, like my upbringing. And then as I got to listening, it was challenged. I ended up feeling a little differently than I originally felt about them, about this idea. And I don't know, I kind of have like a lot of emotions going on.
Like, why am I not judging them? They have a different love story. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's
Could
a
they
lot.
be born? Is it okay to like a show that it conflicts with what I like?
Yeah, I think so. It's kind of like, okay, so the whole idea of today anyway is like, you know, the lessons that I've learned in 2020. And I think this was an example of, I don't know, challenging my internal, I don't have them up, so, okay, we can just take a break. Okay. This podcast challenged me in a way that was really unexpected, because I went in thinking, oh, we're just gonna like listen to this, they'll give us like their growth and like their evolution and whatever, it'll be really good, we can talk about it, all right, the end. And then it ended up being something completely different. And then I was like immediately in a space, as I continued to listen, my heart softened, my mind changed. And so by the end
You're
of
okay
it,
with cheating?
and so this, I know you're being like funny, but to be honest, I think that's the struggle. Is like, it's me talking about this, saying that. In some ways, is that what I'm saying?
You
know what I mean?
Yeah, you need to take the ask approach to this.
Okay.
Where you can be curious about a lifestyle that is separate from your own. Like the polygamy episode that I did on Ask. It doesn't mean you're not necessarily saying I want to cheat on Kev, he should cheat on me. It's okay if he marries that person or I marry that person. You just are interested in the people in the story.
Yeah, I kind of accidentally became interested because, like, literally in the text, I was like, you guys, someone sent this to me, we should, like, listen to whatever. And then, like, probably within an hour of that text, I was like, never mind.
I remember that. And then I came home from JoJo Soccer, and you were like, I was like, we're going to watch the show called The Undoing.
Really good.
Which you should also watch. I was like, you ready to watch it? She was like, okay, I got about an hour left. Let me finish this podcast. And I was like, oh. And all this happened within like a day or two?
Yeah,
or
no,
day.
like the day. So all
You
yesterday.
start off the day with like, hey guys, I found out this thing called Cheat Code. We should review it. We're like, okay. Then less than an hour, you were like, never mind, this is whack.
Yeah.
And then you was just, and then I went and did something else and came back, you were still listening to it. And then I take JoJo to soccer practice and I came back and you was like, I'm almost done now, kid. And you know what you're talking.
Yeah, it's, yeah, I don't know. You guys listen to it. If you have listened to it, let me know in the comments what you think about it. And if you think I should reach out to them and get them on the podcast. I don't want to bring them on to like bash them.
Right.
That's just not the type of energy that I want
No.
ever. But
Never.
I am, maybe there are like some life lessons that they can teach, or
They talk about why they cheated?
they
Why
do.
left their own
So
spouse?
the way that they position the podcast is they tell their story, and actually they say this, there's some parts of it that are inextricably intertwined with their exes.
Okay.
Parts of their story that has nothing to do with their exes, they hold and reserve for themselves.
Wait, that's not backwards?
No. Meaning, the parts where I have to tell this story and you're involved because it's also part of my story, they share. The parts of the story that don't automatically tie to my evolution toward her new spouse and you're involved, they don't share.
To
Out of
protect
their
their exes? Okay, got it.
And so what they were saying was like, there's some parts of the thing and you feel like you can listen, you're like, did they cut something out? Or like, am I not getting the full picture?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand, like, how did we jump from here to here?
Yeah.
And it's because there's a boundary that they're like, either pull that back or we're not gonna share this because it overexposes my ex and that's not my story to tell.
Yes.
So I actually think they did a really good job, to be honest, kind of detailing their story, and they're 6, 7, 8 years removed from its origin, and so I don't know, I feel all type of different ways about it. And
You feel like the Grinch when his heart started growing bigger. You're like,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not used to this. I
I definitely was feeling like that.
Listen,
So
that's a lot of what happens in life, even with our marriage, our relationship, our growth as people.
Mhm.
I remember a couple times in our marriage, I've asked you something and I just knew what your answer was going to be.
Mhm.
And you answered separate, and I was like, oh, what you
Yeah.
said?
Mhm.
And I think that is, honestly, I think that is healthy
What is?
to have those feelings. Like, how do I feel about this? Unrelated but related. You know, how do I say this? You seen Juno, the movie?
Yes.
Okay. The actor
Mhm.
who played Ellen Page came out today as trans,
Mhm.
and now his pronouns is Elliot Page, right? So,
Wait, his pronoun is what?
or his name is
Oh.
Elliot Page.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Pronouns are he and his. So that just came on my Twitter timeline while I was waiting for you to come down. And I remember earlier in my quote unquote awareness of the trans experience, there was a lot more thoughts and stuff that I had combating how I felt with my own upbringing, wrestling with that. And then today I was just like, you know what I mean? Like, and I think that's part of the evolution of you as a person. The first step is this information challenging you and sitting with you and you might come around and still be like, I don't agree with this. But I think in order to be a person who is capable of growth, you have to be able to sit with thoughts that make you uncomfortable.
Mhm.
That's kind of why we did Ask Us, just like, let me see how, what the story is behind this. And I think even in order to believe your beliefs, those should be challenged.
Yeah.
Like even in the Bible, man, people in the Bible was challenging God.
Yeah.
Like, boy, ain't you God? Like they would talk to him like that. Like, ain't you the God of Abraham? You did this and that. Where you at now?
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So God was like, boy, you better ask about me. So anyway, I said all that to say I think it's important that we challenge our thoughts to make sure we are always capable of growth.
Yeah. All right, that's a great place to take a break and hear from the Love Hour sponsors.
Yeah.
All right.
You just want to record these after this?
Yeah, I was gonna pull them up, but we can just record them after.
I still got to do the Dear Kev ads too. So
Oh, we do them at the same time.
yeah.
Okay. All right, we're back. So that was the kind of the intro to this episode. Please let me know if you've listened to this podcast. Also, the podcast being the cheat code, cheaters code, something like that. And let me know if you think I should reach out to them. I don't know how I feel all the way.
I think that's, it's interesting. I don't think you have to know how you feel all the way to reach out to them.
What do you mean?
I don't think you have to feel 100% certain either way about anything in order to have the conversation. Do you feel like you have to be resolute in your... can you just go into it with an open mind? Not open mind, but an open mind.
Okay.
Like, are you afraid of what you feel like you might be? What are you?
Okay, so one of my lessons for this year, actually, I didn't write it down, but as you're talking, I'm starting to realize that it is a lesson, and I learned via you, is that I have to be mindful of my platform. And so even when you think about, I'm not going to say, but you know what I'm talking about very specifically, because I don't want to cause another uproar. Your intent was different than your impact.
Yes.
Shout out to the Stephen Lewis episode. And
Stephen
so,
Lewis, he's your cool.
the Love Hour podcast Instagram page is about to become a Stephen Lewis fan page, by the way. I broke down like 15 clips.
All his great
I spent
analogies.
like 10 hours on Monday or Sunday.
You was working.
Yeah,
I said, girl, this is supposed to be our day off.
Listen, I literally spent like all day cutting down those clips. Anyways, I have to be mindful of my impact regardless of my intent.
Yeah.
So
the stages have cheating couple
Exactly.
on their thing.
And I
what is
never-
wrong with Christianity today?
Right.
And this is why dogs need to be neutered. Be like, well, how'd that get in there?
And I never want, well, my intent may be like, I'm just kind of curious, and can you tell us what you did learn and what you would do different? Because those are the questions I would ask. What you would do different, what advice you would have for people that are maybe in a bad relationship and they find themselves where this, because for the guy, he literally was like, I'm going to cheat. Like, that clearly, at least that's how he said it. in the podcast, whether it was that clear in his mind in real time, but he was very clear on like, I'm unhappy and like, I'm open to cheating, and if it happens,
I'm open to cheating?
literally. I mean that.
He
like,
really said
yes,
that?
in the podcast, like, those were his words.
You know what? I'm finna cheat.
Yes.
You said it like how I decide what I'm having
That's
for
what
lunch.
I'm saying, like, literally it was that clear. And
Like,
so,
yeah, change will be good.
I don't
today.
want-
Also, I'm gonna cheat on my wife.
right. And
Soon.
I don't want, your GMA3 came up. I don't
Oh,
want,
it came up Good Morning America 3?
Yeah.
Somebody just seen that?
I guess so.
What you talking? Oh yeah, I was at the end of the hour.
Yeah. So, and I wouldn't want for someone to take this out of context, to take my intent and twist. Because one thing the internet is good for, okay, is twisting and turning your intent
Yep.
and assigning it to something that is so
Yeah.
far removed from where you started. And I don't want to, I'll let you finish.
Okay. Are you afraid of Are you afraid of how do I say this? Are you feeling like you're afraid of exploring things for fear of clapback or the wrong thing?
I am afraid of exploring, like, this topic. Like, listen, we've talked about masturbation on this channel, which is not within the realms of typical,
Flicking that lighter over there.
yeah, we talked
Jilling
about,
off.
I wore it's the clit shirt for me. Like, those are things that are not typically within the realm of a church-based podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, so in
Would you
terms
consider this a
of,
church-based podcast?
I mean, it's very. I wouldn't say that
Rooted
we're like
in-
throwing scriptures at it,
Rooted in
people,
Black
but it's
Christianity.
absolutely rooted. I mean, that's inextricably tied to like who I am and my views and like the things that we talk about. With that said, those are things that I'm very comfortable challenging because I do believe they need to be challenged. I would never suggest someone go cheat. Like that, I'm just not going to do that.
So do you think
As-
by having them on that might be the correlation that people make?
And I don't want that to be twisted. And I do also recognize, I mean, I'd be intrigued again to have a conversation with them about whether or not they've ever listened to Esther Perel. She always talks about how infidelity is sometimes tied to the cheater and their story, their growth and their evolution, and sometimes it really is a reflection of their spouse. But more likely than not, and especially for women, it is a personal growth story. So you end up learning so much about yourself through this cheating that maybe you that you should have articulated and said before you went out.
So you finna cheat on me for your personal growth?
And see what he's
From
doing.
Mr. 3.0?
This troll.
That's all I heard is you finna cheat on me so you
This
can grow.
trolling that's occurring here is precisely why I can't bring them on.
You finna be on a Shade Room Church.
Which is such an oxymoron. Anyways, this response.
Nah, if you want to cheat on me just so you can grow, just say that. You don't have to go and clarify with I'm having them on. If you just want to cheat and find out, but just when you come back to me, you better come back. Cause I ain't finna hear it now that you done cheated on me just so you can find yourself. No.
All right, so one of the lessons that I've learned this year, which is the point of today's episode, is the magnitude and impact of, I wouldn't say my platform, but your platform.
Bruh. If I didn't learn nothing else in 2020, and I learned a lot.
Uh-huh.
And it's kind of like naive to feel like having 1 million on one and 2 million on another and 600,000 on one and meeting Will Smith and 200,000 on Twitter, which is my smallest platform.
Uh-huh.
My smallest platform is a big platform. But I guess because I'm so much used to people having bigger platforms than me of my industry and then also traditional celebrity,
Sure.
I never feel like me and Kevin Hart are similar. Or even me and Lecrae, but like you are famous in a different way. And then there's like The Rock. Or even like Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
You know, so, but I learned the hard way that there's a lot of people who follow me, even more who are aware of me who don't follow me.
Right.
And even more people who are who will hold me accountable for my platform regardless of my approach or intention.
Right.
And I feel like also there was some safety in that and some more of it was fear.
There was safety and fear in what though?
Okay, so the first feeling was fear. Like, this ain't what I meant. This is out of my, this is out of control.
Yeah.
Then, after therapy, there was some safety in knowing that you can have the best of intentions and people can take it a different way. And also, you can't control. What I learned about myself, I was trying to control everything. The narrative, what people thought, how they commented, how they responded. As I get a bigger platform, I have to come to grips with the fact that I am basically the artist, writing the book, making a painting, putting it out for people to critique. I do my best, but whether they like it or not isn't up to me.
Right.
I can do my best to make it as good as possible and and learn and do this and that and that and that. But I can't tell you how to feel. And then trying to overcorrect also can make things worse. Mm-hmm. So I had to just be like, all right, there's going to be a lot of people who don't like me. Some just because a lot of people do like me. Just because I made one joke wrong or whatever. And knowing that in some way was more freeing than where I was prior to this year, which was still trying to okay, if you do this, if I do this, and Periscope and 95, blah, blah, blah. I actually had to do the math and really come to grips with that. 5% of 2 million is 100,000.
I think that's right. Because 2 million would 10% if you paid your tithes would be
Right.
200,000. Half of that would be.
Okay, so 2 million on Facebook, that's 200,000.
Right.
Add another million on Instagram, that's 300,000. And a lot of them don't cross over. And that's just the people who follow me.
Mm-hmm.
Some people have unfollowed me, blocked me.
Sure.
So, I said this in another podcast earlier today. Being a household name doesn't mean everybody likes you in that household.
That's true.
Everybody's gonna pay attention. And sometimes people troll on purpose, and sometimes people are willfully obtuse just to get a rise out of you.
And some people just ride the train of what's going on. They just troll.
I've made this joke before, and I Lil Duval said this too, but I said I'm gonna wait for the internet to tell me what I should be mad about, and then I'll be mad, or which side I should pick. People be doing that.
Oh, I'm trying to tell you they do. It's oftentimes that there's some issues that I'm like, nah, y'all are right. Yeah. And then there's some issues, even with you, I'll be like, I don't agree with that. That don't sound good.
You don't agree with me?
No, yes, but it's your voice via what social media is saying.
So you want to cheat on me because you don't agree?
And so what you end up doing is there's just a lot of how you should be thinking, and people don't take a moment to think about how they should be thinking, and that's what it can be bothersome to me. Again, there are some social justice issues. Listen, I'd be here for it. But then there'll be some little stuff, like a story will come out about a rapper or whatever, and everybody be thinking one thing, and I'd be like, well, hold on. Mm-hmm. Can we just everybody just pull it in? Because I just got one more question.
Also,
hold on, because I said that, and I don't want people thinking I'm thinking about Meg Thee Stallion, and I'm Team Meg. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just saying in general, sometimes there are things that come, you just got to start forward thinking, because folks be trying to be making connections that don't exist. That's all. I'm just saying.
Why would they automatically go to Meg Thee Stallion?
Because that's where my mind went, and so I don't want people to think that that's what I was talking about.
Oh, so you like Tory Lanez?
This is what I'm talking
That's
about.
why you want to cheat on me?
This is exactly how the comments are. Literally, sometimes I have to remember that the comments aren't, what I'm presenting online is a lot of me. It really truly is, but it's not all of me. And so sometimes comments can be very triggering because you're you were so off base that you don't even know, but being able to articulate that's not in a way that doesn't appear to be combative is really hard. So anyway.
I forgot what I was saying. That was a good point. We're so well lit right now. so happy I turned.
Well, the other thing that I learned, are you done?
Yeah.
Okay. The other thing that I learned about, or one of the lessons that I learned in 2020 is the power of the pivot. And we're going to pivot into a commercial break right now.
Oh!
I shouldn't have said commercial break, but we're here now.
Nice, Alyssa. You better be good at your job.
All right, here we go.
Look at these grades.
All right, so
You
one of
promise you
the
like these grades?
yes. So the other lesson that I've learned.
No,
this year,
Alyssa. Welcome back to the show.
Welcome back to the show. Please support the Love Hour podcast sponsors. One of the things, or one of the major lessons that I've learned this year is the power of the pivot, which goes hand in hand with big leaping.
Big leap energy.
I feel like for this year, if there was no other lesson that I've learned, is that I can pivot. Pivoting is something that should be embraced, and being stuck in a place that no longer is harmful, and the world will pass you by.
Yep. Nice.
So we're
You still selling horseshoes when we driving cars.
Or you're living a life in which we're quarantined and you're trying not to be. It's just not like where we are right now. And at the beginning of the year, if I'm being completely honest, that is where I was. I was not trying to be accepting of the fact that 2020 was happening. Quarantining was happening, COVID-19 was happening, and no matter how hard I tried and no matter how hard I prayed, there were things that I couldn't control and make be what I needed them to be in order for things to go the way that I had envisioned.
Yes.
And so just trying to hold on to, again, what was and not coming to grips with and reconciling with what is, the world is just going to pass you by and you're just going to be stuck. You're going to look up and you're going to be in bell bottoms and we're in year 2020. Like, I don't know what else to say.
I used to use bell bottoms.
Because I feel like that's like, even though I'm rocking bell bottoms these days. Did you want to say something?
I am a pivot master.
Hello?
I am. I was talking to my agents just yesterday, and it was like, you want to go on the road? Like, what is you talking about? The road. Is you ain't aware of what's happening outside.
Right.
And Comedy Club in LA ain't been open since March 17th. Ain't know the road.
Ain't know the road.
Why don't we go? They're not saying, although we go to the end of the road.
Although we've come to the end of the road.
You knew?
Yeah.
I have never said that.
Wow.
I always say, why don't we go to the end of the road?
Is it why don't we go? You're
No,
singing
it's
so
although
loud
we've
and
come.
wrong. That's what I thought. I was like, I know these lyrics, and now you're loud and
Although
wrong.
we come
I can't think straight.
to the end of the road, still I can't let go. Dang, it's still ringing. It's supernatural. Anyway,
Somebody screenshot that face and side by side to.
we need to start making our own GIFs on
Because
Giphy.
That's
GIFs
the
on
face
Giphy.
in my mind. Anyway, keep going.
You belong to me, even though you want to cheat. Oh. I feel like the big pivot started when actually the first pivot was doing podcasts on Zoom.
Right.
When the first stay-at-home order happened, and like watching the audience being like, ugh, I don't really like this. It's funny because on Deaf, they complained when we went to Zoom. And then after like months, we were able to go back in, and they were like, I don't like it on Zoom. And then when we went back to person, it was like, I don't like it in person. I want it on Zoom. Then
Who
we
said that?
commenters, then we went back on Zoom. They was like, I don't like it on Zoom. Now I want it in person. I was like, y'all know what y'all want. But anyway, the conference, the digital conference, pivoting that to online was like kind of easy for me because it was far away. It was much harder for you because the conference was much closer and you already sold much more tickets.
Yeah.
You were further down the line. Pivoting to keep your distance was great.
Mm-hmm.
It was really great. I can say it's like I've been able to do what I want to do, which is have more comedians be seen, still do stand-up comedy. I'm still not performing as much as I would like, but considering the circumstances, basically as much as I can safely. And I think as business people, it's like all these restaurants who are adverse to, what do you call it when they pick the food up and bring it? Postmates. When LA went on lockdown, remember all the restaurants? It was funny to me when the fine dining restaurants was like,
that's when you knew. You
will have this steak béarnaise delivered in a Toyota Corolla because we got to do it to stay open. And there were some restaurants who were sedity that were like, we are a dining experience. And I was like, okay. Keep on that with that attitude.
Yeah, you have to. And that's what I mean. Like you will get left behind. Those restaurants would have gotten left behind, not making any money, trying to stand on, we're at this level of restaurant and we don't do Postmates.
Or we don't have outdoor dining. We was seeing people eating Denny's under a tent looking like the church picnic because you cannot, this is the part that was true. At least for LA.
Yeah.
LA is not like other people. Other states are open more to varying level. LA since March has never been open 100% ever.
Right.
At most, dining got up to 50% for like 6 weeks between May and June, and then outdoor dining. You cannot serve food indoors at all.
No.
Okay? It don't matter how quality it is.
I saw they're actually closing down outdoor too.
No. I'm gonna get to that.
Oh.
Can't serve it indoors at all. So what are you gonna do? Complain? Okay? Stay closed?
Not make no money?
Or get up on Postmates or Uber Eats or whatever, and which is great for me. I was like, well, we're getting top quality. They deliver Korean barbecue on Uber Eats. They ain't never been doing that. And I think a lot of times people just want it to be like it used to be. And it's just not.
And that
happens in life outside of pandemics. I remember feeling grown. Like, once I moved out, I was like, low key, this sucks. It's gonna come out of me. It's gonna come out of me, but it surprised me. But I used to want to move back to my parents' house. You know, when you have the first baby, I used to be like, I need more time. Put it back in. Put it in and keep crying. It's twine. But you can't sit and wish for what was.
Right.
And people are always like, man, you gotta get back to normal, It's normal is gone for a little bit. And there's something, just like September 11th, Melissa brings this up a lot. I remember before September 11th, I was on getting my paychecks handed to me, Burger King. September 11th happened, checks didn't come. And they was like, we told y'all to get on direct deposit. Now I can't fathom working at a regular job and having you have to hand me a paycheck. You know? So some things will be forever changed, never to come back. A lot of businesses that are closing, I saw a stat in New York City, like 30% of businesses that closed during the pandemic will not reopen.
Oh yeah.
Like businesses it's tough to go 2 weeks without, months? You know what I mean? Like malls were already on their way down. Death blow.
Well, and that's the thing that I think that I've learned, that we have to be willing to adjust. And a lot of us, it's me. There's a lot of like rigidity and not wanting to pivot, and recognizing that it's necessary for growth, it's necessary for evolution, it's necessary to sustain, and you have to be able to do it. We can take a break here.
Oh yeah, shoot, I forgot about that.
What?
We need to take another break.
Okay, we'll take a break here and listen to the Love Hour podcast sponsors, and then I want to make sure that I read off some of these people's things.
Oh, we come to the end of the road.
All right, and we are back. Thank you so much to the Love Hour podcast sponsors. Please make sure that you support our sponsors, and remember that supporting our sponsors is supporting us as well. One last thing that I wanted to talk about, because we talked about it last week in the Love Hour podcast, and you should most certainly check out that episode if you have not yet. And one of the things that I've learned, and again, I've said this last week and I've mentioned it a few different times, is that imposter syndrome is real, that I suffer from it very real, and that, yeah, that's it. I didn't
How are you
recognize-
combating it?
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out how to do. I just actually had a conversation with Angel. Today's Tuesday, so it must have been yesterday. Yeah, because today's the first. So I had a conversation with her yesterday, and she was like, Melissa, she had put up her vlog for Napa, and which you should watch as well. It's on the podcast. I'm doing all the promos today. And so she was like, I asked my YouTube subscriber base.
Her?
Yeah, Angel did.
The stage wing? I mean the angel wings?
Sure. If she should do a lookbook for the looks that she picked out for Napa.
Yeah.
And so she was like, honestly, Melissa, they told me I should, so I'm gonna do it, but like low key, that's not even really my lane. Like you should do a lookbook. Like that's really like your, that's really like your
Fashionista.
lane. Actually, and that's what she said. I had trouble saying that out loud, but her literal words
You're a
were,
fashionista?
yeah. I don't know, just move on. And so she was like, you're the fashionista, like honestly, you should be the one doing this. And I was like, okay, so this is where the expert imposter comes like full-fledged.
What approval would you need to do a lookbook?
No, it's not about that. Showing the outfit's fine, no problem-ish. The real problem is like, how am I gonna record this? How is it gonna look? Am I the person that should be doing it? How should I set up the lights? Do I know how to set up lights? Do I have the right lights? Should I use my phone? Is it trash to use my... Like all of these extraness comes to play, and that's what I'm just like, I won't do any of it because I'm not good at it.
That's the funny thing about you and me that I don't think we can be any further different than.
Well, that's
On
your
that.
probably if you ranked your imposter syndromes and mine, they'd probably be opposites.
Yeah, I suffer for it in ways, but not in the same ways. And that way, I'd be like, I wish somebody would tell me I can't do something. Even that some person is me. I wish I would tell myself I can't do it. That's why I'm combating this. This is my imposter syndrome fighter. This is what is mine? Elitism?
I don't know why.
Elite alpha or something?
Kevin is so annoying that he changes his imposter syndrome name to something that almost sounds positive.
I'm not an imposter at all, but I like pasta and all. What is it though?
The Natural Genius, which actually doesn't even sound
That
bad
sounds
at all.
good.
Like,
Anyway, mine comes from things are not easy, therefore they are dumb. I should not do them. So every time I come here, I come down here at least 15 minutes a day and I fight imposter syndrome. Right now, that is the shape of a bar chord, which is very hard, Melissa, to get your fingers to play all these notes. Look, all these notes cleanly, and then this one without your finger hitting this string. You hear that sound?
yes, Mariska said he was waiting for this moment. He
But
was.
anyway, but really this guitar is the imposter syndrome fighter because it's so interesting how it can come in different ways.
Yeah.
A lot of it for you and even Mel is like, do I belong in this room?
Yes.
Right? I don't suffer from that. I'm here, I'm real, been here, still Trill Southwest. I suffer from I only should do the best things and I should be the best at everything. And if I can't do that, then I don't need to do that at all.
Right.
Which makes
That's it. That's the Natural Genius.
Oh, I thought it was elitism. Which isn't the best way to enjoy life healthily because you end up giving up on things that can be fun for you.
Or that you can grow. So, and that's why I say it's the opposite. So for you, you go in thinking this needs to naturally come to me,
Yes.
and if it doesn't, then that's not for me. Then
Right.
I go in everything thinking I am a student. Teach me. I know nothing.
And that's not true.
I know, but that's always and it's part of the reason why even in room, it's so funny because this happens a lot. I will be in a room or text thread or whatever, and people will be talking. I'll be like, you don't even know that's wrong. What you're saying is wrong.
Really?
You are not saying that correctly. That's actually not true at all. But I'm gonna let you rock. Like, because I'm just like, and what I'll do is I'll have those conversations, but on the other side it's like, well, maybe I don't know what I know.
That happens to you all the time.
Well, maybe I'm the one that did I read that right? Maybe I didn't read that right. So let me go back, because I'm always taking on a student role and never taking on a role in which I can, even if I'm not an expert, I'm never confident in what I do know.
Yes.
So it never allows me to take on.
Did that ever happen to you at work? Did you suffer from any type of imposter syndrome at work?
I'm gonna say yes. I don't understand.
Because you were like trained and experienced, when you got into meetings or you had part delays, did you ever be like, I don't know, because from your stories it didn't seem like you.
Okay, so this is the other, for me, the way imposter syndrome shows up is that's in a role where, again, I'm just taking on the student role. If I have been anointed, that's the credential.
Oh, so your position or your title or
So
your.
if I have the position, Melissa, you are the supervisor. I have the authority. You have anointed me. If I have the degree, if I have the whatever, and even then.
You are an influencer. I anoint you.
Stop!
Oh my God! I was giving you a cross of anointing.
Oh, I'm like, I feel like you're just picking at me.
No, I was anointing you like this. I'm an influencer. I knight you.
Anyway, the point is that once I have that kind of authority, so to speak, it's a lot easier for me to take on that role. I feel like it gives me the confidence that I can speak from an authoritative place that I don't have without it.
That makes actually a lot of sense for you, because at your job, it's like, I am the contract administrator's B. If you are C, you report to me.
Right.
And you will listen because my title backs up what I say.
Right.
But in this new world, those roles aren't so defined.
Right.
Like, what makes you an influencer? Is it the amount of followers you have? Micro influencer? Is there some sort of, book or class you have to do? It's kind of like a chef. Danny's will be like, I'm not a chef because I didn't go to culinary school or whatever. But a lot of people who are not chefs, food tastes better than people who are chefs and did all that training and stuff. But you gotta be confident in your thing. Did you have that in every job? At the bank, you probably did for sure because you were assistant manager and all operations fell under you.
Yeah.
The manager was like sales.
Right. I think the imposter syndrome, and part of the reason I think it was such a revelation is because it is and was always, I'm sure, something I've suffered with for a long time, but it's always been underneath the surface because I've always had authority. I have a college degree.
And you went to the management training program.
That's what I'm saying.
At that job.
I'm saying I have a college degree. That's a seal of approval for me. That's you can't take that away from me. That's a degree.
This is mine.
I worked at the bank. I worked in a management training program. By the end, you are anointed a manager.
Yeah.
And then I'm taking all of these classes and like tutorials and like read this book and do this training, do this and that. And so I end up being armed with a lot of knowledge. And that knowledge is what, for me, gives me confidence.
I get that.
And so,
imposter
syndrome.
Go to LMFT school? Were you thinking about that for a while?
Yeah, for sure. But for me, those are the things that matter. So it's hard to see any bit of like an expert imposter syndrome, or maybe it feeds to it. I don't even, like I said, I don't quite know where it stems from or how it developed, or again, if it was always there, covered up by the fact that I've always had credentials, or maybe having all the credentials all these years is what is feeding this idea that I need them now. Who knows? I don't know which came first, the chicken or the egg. I don't know.
Yeah.
But regardless, I've always had those credentials, and so it's always given me that authority. Not having it now is what makes it difficult because, again, I feel like that's what's necessary to, do the thing, so to speak. So, Anyway, that was a huge revelation for me. It was something that, again, I do have to actively work on changing. And so, again, going back to the original story, talking to Angel, she's going to record one. And so I was like, so when are you going to drop yours? And she was like, probably within the next 2 weeks or something. And so I was like, okay, so this is the deal. If you do it within the next 2 weeks, I'll attempt to do mine by the end of the month. The thing is, I really didn't have a whole bunch of looks for the thing anyway. Like, she did a whole situation. I was like, this sucks. This is damn black. I'm going to wear black. That's what I'm going to do. It's not like I was truly all in a fashionista mode. Like, I wore black. But regardless, the point is that I want to do something that challenges this idea, and I have in my schedule on Fridays while you guys are doing the, Here's the Thing live, I have literally in my calendar time for me to do a video because I want to get out of that. And then when it's time to do it, I'm always like, what video I gonna do? What camera I use? I don't know.
That also could be why you want to have the pristine equipment a lot of times.
Yeah, but even then it's like, well, now I have this. Like the other day, this is so dumb. I'm just telling myself. The other day, I was, I'm like, Melissa, you need to start taking more pictures of days that you look cute, because when you look cute, take a picture, otherwise it didn't happen. And so, actually this was a while ago. So I have this camera, and I was on YouTube trying to learn how to use it. When I tell you I messed up the settings on this camera, I was watching all of these videos. Do this, girl, do this, turn this here, go to this screen, go 3 down, hit off, hit on again, double back, AB plus minus CCZY. I was doing everything. And then when I went to take a picture, it was fuzzy, it was blurry, I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, see, and this is why you shouldn't do this.
Was you trying to take it on a DSLR?
On whatever that camera is upstairs.
With the lens and stuff? You didn't want to use your iPhone?
Child, it was a mess. So anyways, my point is, don't be like me, be better than me. Do we do the last break?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so anything else you wanted to add?
No.
Okay, I had this one. I am strong and I am weak. But I want to read people's things.
Read people's things.
Okay, so on my Instagram, I told you guys I was going to do this wrap-up episode, and so I wanted to read some of what you guys learned. So Alexis Fields, this is so funny. Alexis Fields, I'm going to tell this is just a story podcast episode. So Alexis Fields being the sister of Kim Fields.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Kim Fields being the person that played Regine on Living Single.
Yes, and was in, what is that show? When Kim Fields was little?
Facts of Life.
Facts of Life, thank you. So anyway, Alexis, I don't know, she probably wouldn't mind me telling the story because it's not that bad. She inboxed me, DM'd me, and last year, and for whatever reason, trying to sort through your Instagram
It's all messed
DMs.
up.
Yeah.
Ever since they bought Facebook in, it's even more.
Yeah, it's even more messed up. Okay, so it's not just me. It's been really kooky. And so she inboxed me again a year ago, maybe even longer than that, and was like, before the rebrand, literally, I was like, was God talking to you? I'm confusion. She literally said, I can see a change coming for you, and I see it in you because I feel like it's coming for me as well. And I was like, and I didn't see it until a few months ago. Really random. And again, I don't even know how I saw it because it's been in my inbox, but I just didn't see it.
Yeah.
So I was like, Alexis Fields? Because I know who she is.
Yeah.
How does she know who I am?
Run the video.
Stop. And why is she? How is she inboxing me? What is going on? And so my comment was very Melissa, hey, I'm just seeing this. I'm not quite sure you meant to send this to me.
Did you say that?
Yes. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find it.
You did not.
Yes, I did.
To Alexis Fields.
This is what she said. This is February 2019.
Woo! And that prophecy.
Yes.
Yeah, that was she.
February 2019. She said,
What about
I really condensed this, but she said, I feel like we are both at the threshold of major transitions. Not in the sense that we're becoming something completely new, but we are becoming who we already knew we were meant to be deep down on the inside.
Yes.
It's more of an acceptance than a discovery. That's a beautiful line.
Woo!
What a really pretty line.
That is great.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing.
Acceptance, not a discovery.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really pretty. That's just like, that's really pretty. You are beautiful. You are brilliant. You are far greater than any fear or insecurity that has ever tried to hold you back. Brace yourself, sis. It's happening. It will be a process, and at times you will hate the phoniness and political schemes that come at you. None of it matters.
That was me.
Okay. None of it matters. You're going to help so many people. Go, Melissa, go. God is smiling on you. And then like 7 exclamation marks.
Yeah, Melissa!
Tell me this isn't like the sweetest.
First of
message
all,
ever.
that was just at the beginning of the tour of last year.
Yes.
This is early.
So I didn't see it until October of this year. So like 2 months ago.
You left her on red for
Listen.
over a year?
Yeah, I was like, how did I not see this? I don't understand.
Dang, Liz.
So anyway, really, really sweet message. So I'm like, I'm not sure if I'm being spammed. But looking at the date of this message versus today, because by this time I've done the rebrand, and, you know, and I have to say, you prophesied. And so her response was, you're definitely not being spammed. I saw it in you, all caps. So very proud and inspired by you. Witnessing you crack every shell you may have hidden in, and every insecurity wide open has encouraged so many of us. And I was just like, wow, thank you. You know, like tearing emoji. And so I said, first of all, she responded on this comment, and that's why I said that. But it was very like, Miss Alexis Fields.
Alexis Fields is an actress in her own right.
Absolutely. And I was just like, how on God's green earth did I come across your radar? How on God's green earth did, like, clearly, this is how I think of things in my, you know, overly deep emotional mind. God put me on your heart, girl, enough for you to DM me? Girl, Jesus, hold on.
God laid me on your heart.
First of all, God, you was thinking about me so much so that you put me on somebody's heart in the human world that they did then DM'd me a prophecy from God through Kim to me, Alexis, because I'm thinking of Kim Fields. And I was just like, yo, like that's really, really super like sweet. And like, I just couldn't believe it. So anyway, I don't know how we got there, but I'm gonna read her comment. Her most important lesson. The most important lesson for me has been that I can't control what happens, but I do get to control how I will respond.
Woo! I can't control what happens. Wait, I messed that all the way up. But I can control how I respond to it.
Is that it recorded?
Can't control what happens.
That's good.
But I can't control response to it. I need that lesson for me.
That was a good little situation.
I ain't even tuned the guitar yet. Watch me work.
That was good. So anyway, I think that that is a really important
I
lesson.
think that's my thing for almost a lot of this year, Liz.
Is you can't control what happens.
There was a lot of stuff that I thought I could control. And through the actions of this year as a whole, I realized, bro, I can't. I can't.
No.
It ain't even my place to. I can do the best, mean the most, or have the best intentions and stuff, but people are gonna be people. Like my big fear, I talk about this in therapy. Big fear is people turning on me. I can't even control that.
Right.
I can't control how I act, how I treat people, the kind of content I put on. But if that's all of a sudden not received the same way, and I haven't changed anything, my people's perception of me has changed. There's not much I can do about that, you know. So that was a hard lesson to learn, though, for me. I learned that in like 3 or 4 different ways.
You did.
In 3 or 4 different scenarios that were unrelated to each other. And I do think, like, even the big leap coming in, you know, to my life and stuff, all of it was kind of like necessary for where I'm going, where my life is heading. Even the platform thing, even the Doug Williams thing. Like, I thought, which is super naive, I get it. Oh, I can just post this funny clip of this comedian that that has always been funny to me. It's not new information.
Right.
Everybody I've known about it, but the comedy community was like, "This is how you feel? You came on stage." And I was like, "Oh, this dude way funny. He was on TV.
Mm-hmm.
All these people, but like, there's more about me than I even realized." So a lot of the time I spent running from that. Celebrity. I ain't famous, but like, I have a bigger platform that has more impact than I was acknowledging. So,
And I think it's funny because I think for a lot of people, it probably seems disingenuous to read off the numbers the way that you did earlier, and then also in the same breath say, I didn't realize I had such a huge platform.
mm-hmm.
And I think part of it is that the Patreon and like my book club, there are groups of people where like we're talking to. That's funny. Those seem like real people.
Yes.
Like the
Yes.
people that I interact with in my book club are real people. Whether I've met them in person or not, I know their name.
Yes.
For the Patreon, there are some of you that I recognize your name. I see your comment. I have an idea of who you are. For the however many people on, fill in the blank platform, it just becomes a number.
Yeah.
And so it's hard to really quantify what that means in the world.
Yeah, especially because I be like, a lot of these are some dead accounts, out of may show my, you know what I'm saying? Like, and also because I do look at the numbers of like other people, it's like, Kim Kardashian be having like 45 million or 100, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but when I compare my numbers to other celebrities' numbers and the engagement, like, there's a difference between a celebrity who's on social media and then a social media person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, social media is my box office, my
Right.
stuff. I don't have real movies. I'm not just posting pictures of me on red carpet. So, in some ways, that arena holds more weight in those areas.
That makes sense.
Like, I'm gonna tell you what this. I don't want to draw more attention to it than it is, but I knew I was a, big personality on the internet, but not enough to draw attention on stuff unrelated.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw Madame Noir and Lipstick Alley and like, oh, stuff that happens to my life just becomes topic fodder.
Right.
That is a new thing.
Yeah.
That was not always the case.
Yeah.
That is some like, oh,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So, and that takes some adjustment period, and I'm honestly really glad that everything in my life has been slow and methodical.
For sure.
Because it allows me to grow in pieces and not have to go from complete anonymity to on the cover of Rolling
that's a
Stone or Billboard magazine or Men's Fitness or People's Most Beautiful Men 2023.
We'll claim it.
I might get 2023,
Yeah,
2025.
we're here. I'm here for
When
it.
dad bods are in, people are like, forget the fitness industrial complex. Dad bods are normalized. If they say normalize all bodies, like Fenty, what Fenty's doing,
Mm-hmm.
once they get to that, I'm gonna be like, yes.
Next one.
How many you can read?
Just like 5.
Okay.
A handful. B. Wade, MUA. She's a makeup artist in Atlanta. Huge fan. She was actually going to do my makeup for the conference. That I sacrificed too much of myself in my relationships, romantic and platonic. Had to find a balance to set better boundaries with myself. I think that this is so. I think that this is. I feel like this is so.
You're talking like me now.
This is so important, and something that I recognize within myself is that it's so easy to become all-consuming in one aspect of your life that you lose yourself.
In the
And
music, a moment.
yes,
You own it. You better never let it go.
correct.
You only get one shot. Do not miss. Just chance to blow.
This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. I had to go through it. I couldn't just jump in. It's like saying the ABC and you're like ABCDFG.
You cannot start.
You can't
Yeah, there's
just.
only certain parts
Yeah.
you can jump. You can't start on X
Yeah.
or H.
Right, like ABCH. IJK. Got it. So anyway, really good one. One that I thought was really good, Just Ariani. Sure. The lesson I learned is that my worth does not lie on the work I produce in school. Regardless of whatever grades I get, I'm still worthy of the nice things in life. I can be happy. If my grades aren't the same in a pandemic, that's okay. We're in a pandemic. That won't make me any less of a good student. If anything, it makes me more aware that obtaining my master's degree online is not the format for me.
Listen, our son's school was like, look, we're going to give y'all all 3 weeks to do this work because we realize it is not normal.
It is not.
Everybody's struggling. I remember at the beginning of the pandemic, people was like, you ain't learning a new trade. Blah, blah, blah. Listen, if you are just getting by, if you just get by, that's enough.
Fine.
This is, you know, I feel like we didn't live through World War I or II or even the Vietnam War. I think the first major conflict was like Saudi Arabia. Remember that? We were kids. The Operation Desert Storm.
My dad went.
Yeah. But we did do September 11th.
Yeah.
And this pandemic, this is for sure history book
Oh, for sure.
type stuff. You know what I mean? It's when Jeff Bezos becomes a super villain. And
What's so funny is as I was listening to that podcast earlier, the Cheaters podcast, the girl was saying that you have to be okay being the villain in someone else's story.
Aaron Burr had to do that. I'm the villain in your history.
And I was like,
why do you have to be okay being the villain in somebody's story?
well, for her, she was saying that, you know, she's telling her side of the story though, but there's two sides. And if her husband ever told his side, I wouldn't look as good as the way that, you know.
Oh.
And so there's a certain acceptance that I found in recognizing that I don't have to be liked by everyone.
Oh, listen, I had to accept that for my own self.
And it's okay if people go their separate ways from me and feel a way about me after. I'm okay with that. I think I've spent so much of my life.
Is that why you want to cheat on me and leave and see if you go your separate way from me?
I'm about to end this.
Well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I've spent so much of my life people pleasing and trying to fit into whatever I think it means to be cool and be accepted and like, you know, look at me and
Yeah.
I feel like I look like you too. And this phase of like really trying to like stand in my own who I am and all of that, it makes me realize that everyone's not gonna like me and this person that I am. And even, you know, even when we were doing It's the Clip for Me episode, listen, it was so difficult because I was going through my own moment of acceptance in wearing the shirt.
Yeah.
And then having all of these other opinions added on to that, it makes you stand firm. It makes you like, I had to be clear on like what my mission was. And for those that walked away, that's okay too. You know what I mean? Because I also, it's not my job to sway you one way or the other, you know? And honestly, there were so many people. There were so many people, and I still receive DMs to be honest, that were more free from it and understood that my point isn't to push your boundary. My point is to make sure that you're clear on what your boundaries are and why they are.
Yeah. It's also an interesting thing on social media when you do something for you and people feel like, that's not for me. And therefore she is wrong.
I got a comment today actually, and the person was like, well, that shirt's not for kids. And I was like,
Well, dumb kid, shut up. Do you see a kid wearing it?
I think that's obvious.
Dumb self.
I don't know why. I'm not quite
Get
sure.
on my lash,
I'm not
nerd.
quite sure why you made that comment, but you are correct.
You'll be back.
Next one, two more. D-Fresh67. Self-esteem derived from the opinions and judgment of others is the fastest way to disappoint myself. Something Stovetop Kisses Danny Rose says to me all the time, but her country self, is if you live for the applause, you'll die by the booze. She says it all the time. Like Danny says this
How is
all the
Danny?
time. She's good. I was texting her this morning.
She alright?
Mm-hmm.
She got that weave in.
Shut up.
I want
And
to make one of tweet potato come from Cotton
Oh my
Message.
God. I want her to make it.
For Christmas.
Yeah, I
Did
don't
you
want
ask her?
Yes, I will, because it was
That was the best thing I ever had.
it was so
It was
good.
like a pumpkin pie and cheese and a sweet potato pie. Cheated on each other's husband and wife and made a new pie.
And had a new podcast. Anyways, she says this all the time, and it's something that I feel like is so true. And I used to be much better at it, I feel like, than I am now, because I'm trying to do the whole influencer thing. But there was a point in my life where even when Kev was being like completely just dragged on Twitter, I did not engage in the comments. I didn't even look at them. And I have a rule for myself that I generally do not look at comments when I'm on other people's platforms.
That is a good way.
That is one of my personal rules. Sometimes I'll go on there and say like, "Yay, finally, I love the episode. Thank you for having me." And then I'm
get out of there.
yeah, and then I
Let me
gotta
get out of there before they don't
I
like
to
me.
get out, because one of the things that's so hard to like conceptualize is, and I'm sure it's not, because I know everyone in some way, shape, or form goes through this, but taking on the opinions of others onto yourself is heavy.
Heavy.
Stuff. And you will find yourself questioning everything that you do, trying to meet the expectations of other people or work against whatever people are saying. Sometimes it's very, like I've said this once before, there was one video, someone made a comment and I was like, that's valid. That comment's gonna stay.
Really?
That's valid. I think it was a woman, but it wasn't disrespectful. She wasn't like trying to come at me sideways. It was just a valid point. That stays.
Fair.
Exactly. That's okay.
You said that stings?
That stays.
Oh, stay.
It stings, but like that's gonna stay. I'm not gonna delete this. But like I don't care if you're right, if it's rude and it's nasty, I'm like, yeah, delete. But for that, it was valid. So, but what ends up happening is you hold on to it. No matter what you say, what people say affects you, and it matters. And as much as you don't want it to, the fact of the matter is that you're people,
Yeah.
and it does affect you. And so, just trying to find, the boundaries of like what is, something that I can work on, what is something that I just feel like you're just being mean and nasty, and that's just not what I want, and then what's valid.
Yeah.
And working on those things, as I'm constantly growing and evolving, and that's just something that I'm always doing. All right, last one,
Sure.
because I know you're tired.
You don't know what I am? Sucks.
I know.
It's because I had to get up so early and do Good Morning America.
Her name is. Okay. I'm gonna end on this one because it was one that I was gonna say anyways. So Sweet Trice, but it's like with 3s instead of E's, says, "I'm stronger than I thought."
Oh, yeah.
That is one of my things, one of the lessons that I've learned this year is that I am strong
Stronger.
and I am weak.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I feel like taking on I am a strong black woman.
Oh, yeah. It's a heavy burden.
Child, it's a heavy lift.
That's a heavy lift.
It is exhausting. It is tiring. And sometimes I'm not that strong. And so recognizing more than being strong and more than being weak, and maybe this is how I should have phrased it, I'm human.
Yeah.
And I have moments where I am really strong and like I can do it. And then I have moments where like I can't do it, I need help. Please somebody help me. And being able to embrace and be authentic in those moments is like truly the lesson of 2020 for me. Being able to reach out for help, being able to say this ain't it, being able to use my voice, moments of strength, being triggered, a moment of weakness. But understanding,
You've been doing great with that.
listen.
Over the last, I'd say 6 weeks, maybe even 2 months, I've been watching you.
Yeah.
Because, before that, you was triggered and you'd be like, funk, activated.
Yeah.
And now you be like, okay, notated this, that, this adjustments made, and I've been watching you work through it in real time. I'm very proud of you.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Anything else Kev said? I love it, but Kev looks bored. He's always bored on this podcast.
How do I look bored?
Okay, say your.
Who said it?
Lucius. Okay, say your
I
final
don't know
thought.
what my final thought is.
Sing your song.
No matter what I do, you comment on my stuff. Last time you said I make too many jokes. That's what they said. This time I'm bored enough.
They haven't said that in forever.
They did say that the last podcast. I said, man, maybe they're right.
I don't remember that.
They did, Liz. I just be listening and letting Lisa talk. Also, I've been up since 5 or 6 a.m. This is the third thing that I did.
You got it?
I'm never bored. I'm always tired. I've been wishing we had 3 cameras so they could cut away from me, but we shoot straight on. And shoot, man, it's 11:55. This is my 3rd, 4th hour of shooting.
Is it?
Yes. And Good Morning America only took like 2 minutes, but you gotta get up, take a shower, get dressed, shave, be ready, on 10, shoot for 2 minutes. Then I basically shot a podcast 30 minutes after that. And then I was hoping you was running late, and you didn't. You was right on time. I said, oh, 10:27, maybe Liz will be late. At 10:28, you was like, you ready? I was
I
like,
get done at 10:20.
well, you get it.
All right, you ready? All right, thank you guys so much for joining us for today's Love Hour podcast episode.
That shirt is small.
Make sure to join us. Next week we'll have Israel and Adrian Bailon. Until next episode, bye.
Bye.
All right, here we go.
So
Ready?
let me just stop this or keep going?
Just keep going.
All right.
And then we need to send Gam
Did you see-
the audio. She just asked for it.
What audio?
For
Oh, I gave you that card.
you didn't.
I did. I gave you the card as soon as we left. You put it in your purple thing.
Okay, then we need to just send it. Okay, ready?
Mhm.
I don't remember which one I used. I think it was the biggest one. All right, here we go. All right, we're here to tell you about Skillshare. Listen, in real life, Skillshare has actually they're doing some things with me personally. Shout out to them. But we just posted the classes that we took on flying using drones. And I made a chocolate chip cookie recipe using Skillshare. There's some of everything on there. Yes, they're a platform for creatives, obviously. So they have some of everything from productivity management to
guitar lessons. This is a chord I learned on Skillshare. This is a G minor 7. This is a C minor or major. This is a D sustained. This is an A minor. Back to G minor 7.
Do you know who picked
Skillshare. I
Let's
learned
mention
these
the class title
on
the name of the teacher.
Skillshare. The name of the teacher is on guitar.com.
Hold on. Let's make sure we do this correctly.
Doo-doo. I can't wear that shirt no more. It'd be making me feel constricted.
Hold on, because this is the one I wanted, the travel blogger. But I want the Black Girls class. Here it is. Okay. One of the classes that I took, as you guys know, I'm doing a rebrand and I'm working on a blog in real life. However often it comes out, but I took the introduction to starting and growing a fabulously successful blog by Janae Jackson. It's really good. She gives really great insights and tells you how to structure your blog, some key things to include, and that kind of thing. She's an amazing teacher. I really, really enjoyed her. And she's a Black woman.
You really enjoyed that?
I really enjoyed it. And she's a Black woman, and I love the diversity in teachers that they have. And yeah, I'm here for the Skillshare. Explore your creativity at Skillshare.com/LH.
LH!
And get a free trial of premium membership. That's Skillshare.com/LH.
LH!
And of course, the link will be in the comment section of the description box, so you can make sure to check them out.
Is it 2 back-to-back right here?
No, it's just one. And now back to the show.
You already said it.
Okay.
We said it in the show. But you can always just say it here, just in case.
All right. Are you doing the next one? You want me to? I thought you did them pretty good, actually.
This is the glasses stuff?
Yeah. Framebridge, no. Do we have what we bought? Is it out?
You can grab that over there.
Which one? It's the one that's in. I'm not grabbing any of those. They're all in packaging.
No, black one's on.
No, I don't. That's not the one, though.
Yes, it is.
I don't think you should use that.
Okay, fine.
Okay, thank you.
You always try and tell me what to do.
I just don't think you should use that.
Just don't tell me what to do. Just don't correct me. All right. We want to take a quick break to tell you guys about an amazing new service we found called FrameBridge. It makes it easier and more affordable to frame your favorite things. If you can see behind me, if you're watching the video, this wall is empty. But because of FrameBridge, I can go on there and set up a gallery wall with their help. It can be a thoughtful gift for someone during this holiday season, or just for you. Here's how it works. Go to framebridge.com, upload your photo, and they'll send you packaging to safely mail in your physical pieces. Preview your item online in dozens of frame styles and gallery wall layouts. Choose your favorite and get free recommendations from their talented designers. The experts at FrameBridge will custom frame your item and deliver your finished piece straight to you or anyone on your list. Handcrafted, personalized gift from FrameBridge starts at $39 USD. Excuse me. And all shipping is free. Plus, my listeners will get 15% off their first order at framebridge.com when they use our promo code LOVE.
Love.
Promo code LOVE. Now, I'm a collector of art, but sometimes the art is very expensive to get framed. So what I do to make it look more snazzy and not break my wallet is I get a print, and then I send the print over to FrameBridge. And then when it's framed, it looks more dazzling and expensive, like a little Mercer Slim. It's got a clean black gallery frame, okay? Irvine Slim is a clean white gallery frame, and I've ordered some of those right now to adorn my wall. Get started today. Frame your photos or send someone. Get started today. Frame your photos or send to someone. Get started today. Frame your photos or send someone the perfect gift. Go to framebridge.com and use the promo code LOVE
Love.
to save an additional 15% off your first order. Just go to framebridge.com, promo code LOVE
Love.
at checkout. Enter that, framebridge.com, promo code LOVE, save 15% off. And now back to the show.
No, it's not. We gotta do the second one.
I just asked you.
I thought you asked me at the end of this one.
No, baby girl, I said it's the next one back to back.
Oh, I was wrong.
And now listen, to talk to you about Native.
We also want to tell you about Native. Listen, you guys already know how I feel about Native, but right now is the special time of year because they have seasonal scents that are very popular right now. They have the candy cane scent. There was one that I really liked, but I don't remember what it's called. Oh, I think it was candy cane because that's the one that has the red and white stripes.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. They have the candy cane scent, and not only is the scent smell really good, but actually the packaging is red and white striped, so it looks like a candy cane, which is really cute because it's all festive and like Christmassy. The candy cane gift set also makes a perfect, great gift option, and all Native products are great stocking stuffers for everyone on your list. You can try Native risk-free, and it even comes with free shipping within the US, plus free 30-day returns and exchanges, and you'll see why so many people love Native, and they have over 14,000 5-star reviews. Give the gift of Native by going to nativedeo.com/lovehour.
Love Hour.
Or use promo code LOVEHOUR at checkout.
Love
and
Hour.
get 20% off your first order. Make sure you order before December 7th to get your products in time for Christmas. That's nativedeo.com/lovehour. Or use promo code LOVEHOUR.
Love Hour. Yeah. What are you checking? Hello Fresh. That look good.
It does. Okay. All right, and now for our last break, we are going to tell you about HelloFresh. We are a busy family.
Very busy.
I am a busy woman.
Busy
And,
mom.
Making sure that my family eats a meal that I feel like I cooked, but didn't take all the time necessary to do all the things that's typically required with cooking.
Shopping and stuff.
Shopping, portioning out things. First of all, back that up. Thinking of a recipe.
Man, that'd be hard. That'd be half your problem.
Half the
Damn,
battle
that's why
is
you
like,
cheated those
what am I
things, bro.
what am I about to eat? What are we about to cook? What do I have? What don't I have? Do I need to run to the store? Ain't nobody got the time to be doing all the things. And that's where HelloFresh comes in. They make cooking easy for you because they take all of the thinking out of it. It is quite literally the easiest things. The recipes, done.
Done.
Portion meals, done.
Done.
Grocery shopping list, done.
Done.
It's already included in the box.
From right to your doorstep.
Right to your doorstep, already pre-portioned. They are cold, so the meat doesn't go bad. Like, it's actually
Meat is good.
Yes. We just recently had the cheesy smothered mushroom chicken. It came with mashed potatoes, roasted carrots, some chicken, a nice little gravy white sauce. Really fantastic stuff. The recipes are super easy to follow. They even have pictures because I don't only like words. I actually enjoy the pictures as well. It's just the way that I learn and like to do things. Over 90% of ingredients are sourced directly for the growers to ensure peak flavors and ripeness. If HelloFresh order does not, oops, sorry, don't say that. Easily change out your delivery days or meal plan preferences. They have keto, they have kid friendly, they have all sorts of things to accommodate wherever you are in your phase of life in terms of your eating plans. Keep your fridge stocked by adding extra meals or additional proteins. Quick meals like breakfast on the go or their 10-minute lunches, and even desserts to satisfy your sweet tooth. Go to HelloFresh.com/LoveHour90
LoveHour90.
and use code LoveHour90
LoveHour90.
to get $90 off, including free shipping.
Yeah.
Go to HelloFresh.com/LoveHour90
LoveHour90.
and use LoveHour90 to get $90 off, including free shipping. And now back to the show.
Do you have the Dear Calf? Did their Dear Calf ads come? I don't remember seeing them.
Should you stop it and do it, or are you going to tell them it's just at the end
Oh, I
of
was
this
going
one?
to tell them. Yeah, let me just do it on this one.
Just tell them it starts at about 1:30.
Okay. You think I should just start a new one?
No, I would just tell him at the mark so he knows.
Okay. I want to take a quick break from the show and tell you about Paint Your Life. Look, our family's not going to be together for the holidays this year. It's very much sad. Thanksgiving already happened, no grandma. Christmas is coming, no grandma, no mom. But I found a way to bring us all together safely with a hand-painted compilation portrait from Paint Your Life. And it makes the perfect gift. Listen, Melissa and I take a lot of pictures. We very rarely get them printed. Paint Your Life, I could just get something from my Instagram turned into a real life hangable piece of artwork to remind myself of how beautiful my wife is and how handsome I am in the moment that we got grills. It was so dope. And I was really blown away when I actually got it. It looked like an artist painted it in my room, and I was his or her muse. Choose from a team of world-class artists and work with them until every detail is perfect. You can order from a custom-made, hand-painted portrait in less than 5 minutes. Quick and easy process. Get a hand-painted portrait in about 3 weeks. Makes a perfect holiday gift for someone you love or for yourself. Now you listen to this. At paintyourlife.com, there's no risk. If you don't love the final painting, your money is refunded. Guaranteed. And right now, as a limited offer, get 20% off your painting. That's right, 20% off and free shipping. To get this special offer, text the word DEAR to 64,000. That's DEAR. You can say it. To 64,000. Paint your life. Celebrate the moments that matter most. And now, back to the show. After these messages, we'll be right back.
Alright, what's in that to it?
Honey.
Yes.
Honey, honey.
Honey, honey, I can feel I'm all the way from here. Don't you see my clothes in your window pane? And just these two stop. We didn't get to see our concert this year. Enough. All right, I want to take a quick break from the show and tell you about Honey. Imagine this. You make a list of gifts you're going to buy for the holiday, and then boom, someone randomly gives you the money to help you buy one. Sound good? Well, that is exactly what Honey is doing. They're helping pay for $1 million worth of gifts. You're probably wondering, is this the same Honey that automatically searches for promo codes online?
Yes.
Yes, it is. With Honey, you can also make a list of all the holiday gifts you want from certain stores, and Honey will email you when the price drops on anything in your list. That's what I'm talking about. I do that for airline tickets. Be like, well, we going to Cabo San Lucas? Oh yeah, I finna go to Cabo San Lucas. I'm finna go. Hey, prices are low. Honey's basically doing that just for you. Just add Honey to your computer, create a free account, and throw in some holiday gifts on your drop list for a chance to win. Honey will randomly select winners and give them the money to help buy something on their list. I'm finna add me some workout clothes. I'm finna add me some power tools, a baseball bat, and a knife. I'm joining the knife club, Marcus and Greg. So I want Honey to give me the best deal or to buy it for me. Okay, now you listen to this. No purchase necessary. You need a PayPal account to redeem the prize. Only valid in the United States of America. Giveaway ends on December 21st, year our Lord and Savior 2020. Get Honey for free at joinhoney.com/dear.
Dear.
That's joinhoney.com/dear.
Dear. What is this no purchase necessary?
It's when it's a sweepstakes, you have to say that.
Did you say it was a sweepstakes?
No, but it is. We used to do that all day. You have to always say no purchase necessary. And now back to the show.
Do you want to do it again? Because I may have interrupted you.
No, Greg can cut it out. Joinhoney.com/dear.
Dear.
And now back to the show.
Nothing's perfect, but it's worth it.
To my dear. And finally you put me first. Baby, it's you. Can I send this to you to upload?
Sure.
You're the one I need. You're the only one I see. Honey, honey, and you. Finally, you put my love on top. Baby, you're the one I love. Baby, you're all I need. You're the only one I see. Honey, honey, and you. All right, y'all. Oh, shoot. It's not working.
What?
I love you. We'll see you Friday. Remember, wash this part of your legs, right where your balls are or your coochie touches your leg. Wash that part because they get distinct.
Well, she just, I got 3 more vlogs. I actually should do the Skillshare portion right now because I was doing the most and I didn't have to.
What do you mean? What do you?
Yes, let me show you.
All right, y'all. Bye. Baby, I wanna love. Honey, honey,